if there was a goal in the first half, I'll say it was that. I'll be honest. You could have. I was thinking of taking a nap at Selhurst Park because honestly, I don't. There was nothing. There was literally nothing until the subs. And let's talk about the subs. And we saw it. Wharton came on, Sarr came on, Mateta came on. Mateta ended up scoring 2 goals, which was fantastic. It just completely flipped the script. I know stats don't mean everything, but you're looking at first half, 39% possession, 0.42 xG. Newcastle's XG was 0.95, but I think that was purely down to the goal. That goal was literally in front of the goal, so the XG would be massive. Second half, Palace, 1.93 XG, nearly 2 goals expected just alone in the second half. We scored a penalty, so penalty, of course, boosts it, but still, it was much more positive. And then 0.19. Defensively, we were great, but attack, there is a massive difference. And rightly so, you see it with Sarr, Mateta, and Wharton. They played together for God knows how many games, so they're used to it. But yeah, I think the game kind of changed as they came on, and it didn't only change for like a little bit; it changed massively. It just looked like we were just back into free-flowing football, whereas beforehand it wasn't.
Yeah. I think it's difficult with both Hughesy and Lerma as well as the central two for anything to happen when JSL's on the pitch today. But the substitutes made the impact. Wharton, I thought, was brilliant. It's the quality of our passing, I think, and the speed of our passing that really sort of makes us a lot more dangerous. Because we've got a midfield 5 to get through. It's not an easy formation
and these players
pass through.
They need game time as well. This is the dilemma that we also spoke about on the preview. Like you can't play the same Kamara, Wharton from here just till the end of the season and not go give opportunities to Hughes and Lerma when you can give opportunities. This game, if we did lose it, it would have been annoying, of course. You don't want to see your team lose, but it wouldn't have been the end of the world. And they need to stay match fit because it's not just for the Premier League, it's for the Conference League as well. God forbid if anything happens to any of the starters, these players need to be ready. And they've had 3 weeks off. And on top of that, that would have been another week where maybe some of them who didn't play with the international teams hasn't had as many game times. So Glazer needs to find a balance. And I thought today he went for it, which was a bit of a surprise. But yeah, like at the end of it, it was good. It was good when those players did come on the pitch. Let's bring on. Yeah. And you know what? On that note, let's wrap up because there's no point in just waffling on. Because we've already spoke about everything that needed to be spoken about in this game. We spoke about the bench and also the impact of the players. Fantastic result. We move up to 13th in the Premier League or 12th. So I think we overtake Newcastle. So we're in a good position in Premier League. We are safe for those that were worried about that. And bring on next week Thursday. I think that's the biggest game. And thankfully, no players as we left the pitch. I didn't notice anyone being injured, especially those players that came on the pitch. So yeah, the only negative from this week, I would say, is Evan Gassan out for 3 weeks. But then again, if you're looking at it like that, he should hopefully be back for the semi-final if we do make it through, of course.
With Pino going to be playing with Sarr and JSL, I think you can expect like probably a more fruitful game for Larsson. I wouldn't judge him on today's appearance because of who he had, behind him, who he had either side of him as well. Let's see what he does with with the full squad.
But I wonder who he starts up front because I was thinking on that performance in first leg, I don't know if Mateta's overall performance was that good for him to confirm his place next week Thursday to start, but I thought he had a positive impact off the bench. And when I'm looking at Strand Larsson, he didn't do much of this. So I think right now, don't know about you, but Mateta probably edges it for me to start.
Against Fiorentina?
Yeah.
Nah, again, like I said, I think it's about players that are around him as well. I think how he plays relies on who he can link up with, like Sarr. Like Pino on the left hand side is going to have to be, with access on there.
Well, he scored goals. I don't think the Fiorentina overall performance was like anything like wow, but he still ended up scoring a goal in that game. And today, his performance was actually decent, and he backed up with goals. Surely he should be starting next week Thursday, no?
Not necessarily for me. Like I said, I prefer to have Jürgen Strand Larsson be the main guy. This is who we've got in. This is who we've spent the big bucks on. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be our striker next season because Mateta's going to go because Mateta decided he wants to leave. That's how I see it. Mateta, I think, is a great player to come on as a sub. But I want to see how Strand Larsen plays with the full team, because we're criticising him today about how he plays with our second string team with Lerma and Hughes, who aren't exactly the best passers in the world. And we're going to have Wharton and Kamada in the centre, who are, far better, by the way. And we're talking like far better. They're like, it's a complete difference having Kamada and Wharton in that central midfield and having Lerma and Hughesy there. Hughesy, I didn't think had a great game today.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, we'll talk about it in the preview as well. So that's going to be interesting. As always, if you have enjoyed this, please drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll be back, of course, looking ahead to the game against Fiorentina over the next few days. But before that, the player rating should be dropping hopefully on Monday or could be, hopefully tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But that's it from us. And until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.